All right, as per popular demand, Callum is back, and this time we're going to get more political because you guys loved it the last time. But we're also joined by Gosia from Poland, who
Correct.
who, who is now officially a Pakistani YouTuber slash vlogger, who also runs a travel and tourism company in Pakistan, as well as out of Europe. They're collaborating with a local
Yeah,
agency.
collaborating with local.
And you bring in tours from Europe, specifically from Poland.
Yes.
And you've brought in how many tours now?
Oh, I never like count completely, but it's the big tours we have, like for example 3 in May, then in August 2, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 12,
12
big
tours.
tours, but we also have privates. We also have a
Right.
lot of private tours, like small, like 2, 3, 4, 5 people. They are just coming, and we are also helping them operate everything in Pakistan.
And the big tours would mean like 10 to 15 people?
Yeah, around 10, 15 people. Yeah.
You guys, both of you, and as well as other vloggers, have done a great job at highlighting a lot of the hidden tourist destinations in Pakistan. I mean, Callum more with the culture, and he gets on ground with the people, the food, the weddings.
The weddings, yes.
Comes
I
with
heard
that.
he's an expert.
He's a wedding expert. In fact, Callum was on a news show the other day, and they asked him, do you,
What was my favourite?
Yeah.
The Bharat or the Mendi? I knew that was going to be one of the first questions.
Right.
I feel like any time I arrive in Pakistan, people are just like, he's black, like, let's get him to the wedding.
yeah, at this point, you should start a rental service where they rent you out.
Rent me out. I'll come to your wedding.
I'll do a little dance, do a little jig,
I enjoy them though, they're really good. They're actually very fun. And like I said on the news a few days ago, in the West, a wedding is quickly get the ceremony over and done with, and then everybody gets a drink. Whereas here, nobody's really drinking, but everybody's still partying and having a good time.
Yeah, no. The really funny thing that Gosha mentioned the other day was that Poland, generally people are very introverted.
Yeah.
And one of the weird things she found about Pakistan was that nobody drinks and everyone's extroverted.
Yeah, and happy.
Yeah, they
At
always...
least showing that everybody is happy. Yeah. Even my friend, she came to Pakistan in March, and she was participating with me in the big dinner. There was a lot of Pakistani people, and everybody was so talkative, asking her about her life and things. And she was like, "I was not prepared for this. Don't brag about ourselves. We are not sharing like the thing in Poland. If you are successful in something, you just don't share this." Because people are, envy, and they are putting
The
evil eye on you. And she was like, I even forgot to say, because she also write tourist books. She's also a traveler, so she wrote few books with a good sellings. And she was like, I even forgot to say it. And I was like, yeah. I said to her, in Pakistan, you have to be prepared. You have to talk about yourself, yeah. And everybody is asking, and everybody here, if you are more successful, you have one business, second business, third business, yeah. You are into many ideas. So this is completely different. Like we have, like in Poland, we have one path, and you should stick to one path. And if you are doing two things, that's too much. And if you are bragging about this, I mean bragging in a good way, yeah, like talking about yourself good. It's also too much for Polish people.
I think some of the cultural nuances are lost in that it's good to be extroverted in Pakistan, but I think that you're not supposed to sort of brag. I think that's a problem of Urdu to English.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
not
it
not in a
ends up-
bad way, not in a
Yeah,
brag,
yeah,
in a
yeah,
bad
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Just talk good about yourself.
But you
Yeah.
will not about yourself. What you have to say is that everything's fine. The weather's great.
Yeah.
God is good. Everything has been great. My family's wonderful. You could be dying inside, but
Yeah.
complaining is not. It's not on the menu.
Yeah.
We were speaking with Callum last time, and Callum mentioned a little bit about his backstory. Studying in nursing school, and then COVID hit, and that was the big motivator for Callum. And then he went out. He went out to Egypt, and then to Syria and Iraq, and all over the world. And he didn't choose sort of the more. And I don't know how much of that was influenced by COVID and the restrictions on travel, but he chose. I think also your nature is also very adventurous. You chose a lot of
Yeah, it became a thing where it was, where does the British government advise you not to go?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go there and see it for what it's like, and that was how. My first, touching on the COVID thing, Egypt probably wouldn't have been my first destination, but that was down to the restrictions, and I was able to go to Cairo. But Yeah, it's the places where the British government tell you not to go. That's the places I kind of want to be mooching about.
Right. So, I mean, COVID got him started, and his sort of adventurous spirit was kicked into third gear, and he started traveling to all the places that the British government had a problem with. What about you? Were you already into travel and tourism in Europe? Or?
I started like before COVID. I was doing this at the same time when I was doing my PhD. So I had like this travel things was like to get happy in life because PhD was very difficult and stressful. So I started like 2018, 2019. I started slowly, but then I was traveling like across Europe. I was also living in Italy for my PhD. So that is when I was making my first content for traveling. But then of course COVID came. So at the beginning of the COVID, I was in Poland, so I was just stuck in Poland. And but in the end, it turned good because I was never like into discovering Poland. Yeah, I was like always thinking like as a travel blogger, I have to go abroad, I have to go far, 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 far. But in the end, I spent some time in Poland, like discovering the places that I was reading about, but I never went. And it turned out that the people were very interested in this. So it turned out as a success in the end because I also took a place in the competition and I was second best travel blogger in Poland in 2021 after COVID. So it was kind of good things for me. But then I got this money from the second place, and then I was like, okay, now I have extra money. Where should I go? And that's how I ended up in Pakistan.
Really, the first thing you decided after so you were already in the Polish language, you were doing blogs, right?
Yeah.
You were writing blogs up,
Yeah.
like travel and tourism blogs.
Yes.
I guess people use them as a sort of a yardstick before they sort of go to that place. And you
Yeah.
were doing it for Europe and primarily for Poland.
Yes.
What was it about Pakistan specifically where you're like, I'm going to go to Pakistan now?
Oh, why I chose Pakistan?
Yeah, I mean,
this
immediately.
time. Yeah, it was. I seen advertising. There was another Polish girl. She used to live in Pakistan, and she was advertising Pakistan on social media. And yeah, that was now she's my friend, Ola. she's
Oh,
now
Ola.
she's now in China.
All right.
Yeah, and
Working for the Chinese government.
I don't know, maybe. Anyhow, and this time she was advertising Pakistan, and I was looking for new destination because there was COVID. We stuck, and I was mostly like traveling somewhere in Europe, but not farther. So I was like, okay, let's go somewhere. Let's make a bomb. Yeah, like something which I never would like to go.
I think that's a great analogy to make a bomb when going to
Especially going to
Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Right.
Subconsciously.
It's right on the nose. So you thought Pakistan was an exotic enough, and then you'd seen the north, I'm guessing.
Yes. She was advertising North, but also for Polish people. General this area of the K2, Nanga Parbat, Himalayas is very big business. I mean, not only business, but is in our culture in Poland. So it's very famous. We have very famous Himalayas that are going on the Mount Everest in the past, also in the past.
Right.
And few years back, there was Tomasz Mackiewicz. He was a great Polish also Himalayas, and he wanted to conquer Nanga Parbat in the winter. In the end, he died on the way back. He stayed there forever. And that was also in the media. So I was like, she showed Nanga Parbat. I read about Nanga Parbat. I was like, yeah. Well, why not?
I'll go see it.
I will go see it.
It's unfortunate that he died, but you know, a lot of people, a lot of mountaineers, it's a different kind of human being, I guess.
Yeah.
Want to do that. It's a big culture in Poland, then I'm guessing.
Yes, it is. Although we don't have huge mountains in Poland, our highest peak is 2,500 only. So Fairy Meadows is 3,300.
Right.
So but there is a culture. There is a culture, and the spirit of this Himalayas are still alive because these guys that were big in the 70s, 80s, they are still alive, and they are going to the many conferences. They are talking about the mountains. So, and we have also new generations of mountaineers. So yeah, it's still alive. But I'm not that kind of mountaineer. I just like base camp is
Is your maximum?
Yeah, it's my maximum.
Right. And what's the highest peak in Scotland?
No idea. It's not my
cup of tea.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea at all.
Yeah, you want to know what's the most densely populated area
I
in
want to
India?
know where the roughest, toughest bit of Pakistan is. That's where I want to be.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's fair play to people who actually do it. It
Fair
must
play,
take a lot of
gumption.
Yeah, but it's not something you want to be doing half-heartedly. Let's go up to K2 tomorrow,
I suspect there's a lot of training involved and a lot of, there's a particular mindset
I eat too much biryanis and mashed dal and parathas to be
to be climbing
been
up
up there.
K2.
Yeah,
Yeah, more like taking a nap will be the
that
next
sounds
the next
better.
big adventure.
yeah.
No, but so this is really funny. You came in for the ecology, for the geography sort of, and then you started to enjoy the smaller things like on the local level.
Yes.
With Callum, it's the other way around completely. Callum is all about like the people. Callum was complaining particularly about how there's a big culture in Scotland of going out, talking, hanging about, and he liked that very much about Pakistan in general.
Yeah.
So Callum started his adventure in Egypt and then went eastwards and a bit into Africa as well.
I was in Somalia. Well, Egypt's
It is
up there.
Africa,
It's Africa,
technically,
yeah. But I was in
technically.
Somalia as well, yeah.
Right.
Which was it was good to tick it off the list. I didn't find the people so forthcoming. A little bit touchy with the camera. So I probably by all accounts nice people, but just didn't have the best reception, I thought.
Sometimes people can be camera shy. I mean, you mentioned that in Europe as well, this is a big problem if you start vlogging on the street.
I
People
think
are-
so. A lot of people in
Yes,
Europe
yes.
are sort of don't want to be on the camera, whereas in Pakistan people are very forthcoming. This man's got a camera. Let's get involved. You know, it's that's something that's very easy in Pakistan.
Right. So did you travel to Pakistan first and then India, or was it the other way around?
Pakistan first.
Right. And what was it? Was it the geography as well? Was it the topography? What was it?
No, to be honest with you, I've never really had lots of people in the West have a big appeal for India. I didn't really see that appeal, so I came to Pakistan.
I
and
don't see it either, buddy.
I can imagine. And I knew you could take the border, so I thought I'll come to Pakistan first, and then we can take the border over. But I'm glad that I came to Pakistan first because the hospitality is just so much better.
That's the way it is. You heard it here first. What about you? So you went to Fairy Meadows initially, or
Yes, that was this typical tour. Yeah, and I just stay in the contact with Ola and her friends who are organizing these tours. And that was also one of my dreams. When I was in Poland doing this all travel things, I always wanted to grow in the travel business, and that was my opportunity. Yeah, because Ola was working on this, but she hasn't had a company in Poland registered. She works on the Pakistani market, but for our European clients, she needed somebody to work with to have a company registered
So you
back
set
in
it up in
Europe.
Poland?
Yeah, so we set a company in Poland with all registrations, so the people are coming here feel safe because we have insurance,
Right, travel insurance and-
Polish bank number and everything. So this is more like we are reliable, and if anything happen, of course there are regulations for any case. So that's why it's growing now. Now it's a growing business.
what was it about Pakistan after the initial visit that you kept wanting to come back or bring Polish tourists here? Sure, you could have gone anywhere with your tour company.
Yeah, but this is something which you don't have this kind of countries. Like everybody doing tours to Egypt, everybody doing tours to Jordan. Yeah, Morocco is extremely popular, but Pakistan is like the hidden. Yeah, it's not everybody goes there. So there is something special in both way. In the special in doing business, like on the market, which is still a bit undiscovered, and also in the special way because the north and the beauty of Pakistan is also not that popular.
I think a lot of people in the West, as I'm sure you'll agree,
Yeah.
still have a misconception
Oh,
about
yeah,
Pakistan,
yeah.
about the
Yes,
Islamic
yeah.
extremism and
Yeah,
stuff
but
like that.
that's a bit also always difficult for a business. That's why also I'm here, because when clients are calling me and they are, oh, you live in Pakistan, how you can live in Pakistan? Is it safe 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 in Pakistan? And they are all the time, they have the same question because of these misconceptions that what happened 20 years ago, they still think it's the same. Yeah.
Is it safe in Pakistan?
Yeah.
I don't feel safe all the time.
No, I don't feel safe around
Like-
you.
Like, of course, depends where you are going, yeah.
Right.
Like, for example, when I'm in
Obviously.
Lahore, in Islamabad, and I'm going to the places that I know and everything, it's fine, yeah. But if I go somewhere more local places, I'm like more cover. Like, I don't know. I feel this misconception in the first moment. Later, of course, it turned out that there is nothing.
I
But
think,
at the
yeah.
first moment, I feel like a bit like walking on the streets which are
A
not
lot-
our streets, yeah.
A lot of the rigidity you'll find in Pakistan is limited to speech, but once you sort of settle in, like the people are accepting of most things. More often than not, they'll
Yeah.
talk a big game,
Yeah.
but at the end they'll sort of chill out when you hang out with them, share their food. Did you ever have any trouble with your tourists coming in? Any medical they ever drink the water? Ever get sick? Is that a thing?
Every time. Each
I
tour.
was shocked.
Well,
It's
if you
true.
ever decide to take them to India, tell them not to drink the Ganges water.
This guy is this on video, by the way?
This is on video.
Did you put the vlog up ever?
I don't know if the vlog's up yet. Not the sickness part. The sickness part was I was too ill to actually vlog. They promised me drink the Ganges water, you'll be safe, it'll heal your body.
Right.
Certainly didn't do that. The next day I was ill. Honestly,
Yeah,
I was terrible.
I became really sick, and I think the British government was right in maybe recommending not to go to India and
Not to,
Pakistan.
not to, not to
And maybe
drink
not
this water,
consume
maybe.
the Ganges water.
Or the urine or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
That's a different kettle of fish.
Let's not get into the stuff that you've been up to. That's more German stuff, maybe.
Aye.
not for a Scotsman, but I think Callum was very close to being a statistic on some European governments, like information board. Don't let tourists go.
Don't be this guy.
Don't be
Yeah,
this
don't
guy.
be like Callum.
So don't go and drink the Ganges water. Don't drink cowpea.
But surprisingly, for the length of time I've spent in Pakistan, I've not actually been that sick. Maybe, let's say, 3 times out of 4 months last year, and it's not a great deal considering.
I think I suspect. So one of the things that I suspect is food handling, but the other thing I suspect is the microbiome is different.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
It's
the
different.
I
The
think
bacteria in your gut and stuff is it's different. It's a little bit different.
yours
so-
is made out of
Well, mine is
deep fried Mars bars,
Aye,
right?
aye, deep fried Mars bars and
Yeah.
buckfast and whiskey and stuff. So it's just floating about in mine.
But then when you get here, I think and maybe the water sometimes. I
Maybe
think
the water, but sometimes, or like when you're going mountains, of course, it's different temperature of boiling, yeah,
The food
it's
is
high,
harder
yeah.
to cook, yeah.
So it's also, but I got only problems after first time when my first visit. So I got all these cramps and everything, and then I was fine. And only I got sick once after drinking sugarcane juice.
Oh, the water.
In Lahore, I drink sugarcane juice, and that was last year in March. And after this, all good. Nothing happened to me
It's the
anymore.
water. It's definitely. I think water, dairy, and like fresh produce sometimes. The cooked stuff is not a problem. In the north, sometimes because of the
Yeah.
low temperatures,
Yeah.
they don't cook it properly, But like I think generally the water and dairy and the fresh produce seem to
Well,
have.
I would love to see you after a few battered Mars bars in Scotland.
I'd
with
be fine.
Deep fried pizza and
I'd
stuff.
be asleep. I'd be asleep 100%. No, I think dairy is much better in Europe. I really like dairy in Europe. Dairy products in Western Europe are pretty good.
Yeah, I
Very
mean,
good.
in my country, it's very good.
Big dairy culture in Poland then?
Yeah.
A lot of dairy, what like yogurt and cheese? and-
Yeah, different type of cheese, different type of yogurt. Like here, I'm missing this a bit,
We have paneer.
but it's not.
Paneer is just like cottage cheese, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not a big paneer guy, I'm not gonna lie. What about yogurt? Yogurt's different here.
But they are mostly like Nestle or something like these big brands. We have more
mean,
local brands.
The
you know.
Nestle, you get your local yogurt here as
Yeah,
well,
but-
but I wouldn't recommend it for you. The Nestle yogurt essentially is just milk product. I don't think it's real yogurt.
Yeah, it's not like.
There's a
it's
good-
only curd yogurt.
There's a good local yogurt brand that will also be okay for you to consume. I guess it's Prima.
They have the small also, these boxes.
I think they
yeah.
do, the blue one.
Yeah.
The blue one. I think Prima is something that maybe you'll have a easier time with. I think the yogurt that we make at home, maybe you guys, that would be a good idea on the first day. Every tourist just gets a spoonful.
Give them that just to
Yeah.
Just
bail yourself.
get the system running. No, but okay. So you get excited about the people. You like the topography. You think it's a new market. You guys set up the tour company. How does it work? Like, do you advertise online in Poland, or do they
Yeah.
just see your vlogs and they're like, we want to go
No, I advertise online.
on Facebook,
Yeah,
Instagram?
everywhere. Facebook, Instagram. Also worked with other travelers, Polish travelers, which
Right.
are also bigger than me. So they are also advertising for me, of course, for money. Yeah, so
Thrown that in there, thrown them under the bus for the money.
For the money. They don't like
But they-
Pakistan. I like Pakistan.
They've never took a
No,
tour
no.
in their life.
No, they were like, no, they are picky, so it's not like they will advertise something which they don't experience. We
Yeah.
got good collaboration with the one YouTuber. He came last year on our tour, and then he was advertising.
And do you advertise primarily in Poland?
Yes, but I want
Right.
to also go on the other markets in Western Europe and maybe Central Europe as well.
Because English would allow you to be able to communicate. Or do you
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
other languages?
No, we like for our Polish tourists, we always need Polish tour guides. But luckily, we have now in Pakistan. I found two Polish girls. One she lives in Lahore, second she lives in Skardu, and they now work with me. So they are another tour guides, Polish-speaking tour guides, and they also have experience in Pakistan. They understand Urdu as well. So this is, I think, this is our
This is pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good.
And you've had about 60, 70, 80 people come in?
Oh, I think even more people because
Oh,
we
wow.
have this 12 or 15 big groups, and they are also like average 10 people on the big group, and we have these small groups.
What's
So-
the tour look like? What's the route?
Mostly we are starting like Islamabad, then we are going by car, by one way we are going by bus to the north, Chilas, Ferry Meadows, Hunza, Pasukons, Kunjara Pass, and then we are going Skardu. From Skardu we are going by plane to Islamabad again, and then we are doing Lahore.
In Lahore, so in the north you have a lot of, it's a lot of topography, some
Yeah.
old forts. But in Lahore, I think the attraction is the old city.
Yeah, heritage, old city,
right.
mosque, of course, Badshahi Mosque, Vazikar Mosque, Old Town.
Wazir Khan Mosque.
Yeah,
Have
yeah,
you done all these?
The mosques.
The north side.
Yeah, I've been up to like Skardu and Hunza Valley and stuff, and
Yeah,
yeah,
you-
I've been up there. That was one. I've been up there the first time.
the food's different, right?
Yeah, oh, we love the food in the north.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course they love it.
Yeah, I love it.
The simple apricot jams
Yeah.
and
Yeah, apricot, yeah, it's delicious, but also
The
kind
noodles.
of, yeah, it's a bit different. It's more herbal. It's more herbal.
it's more mild. Yeah, it's more
mild,
flavored, yeah.
herbal, and different flavor. So we love it. Also, sometimes we are going to Peshawar. Depends on the tour. When the tour is more private, there is a bit different tour. Yeah. So sometimes people going also Peshawar. We also have south tour like from Karachi to Lahore or Lahore Karachi. Yeah. So we are going Multan, Bahawalpur, Sharif. So the south tour.
The
as
south
well.
tour, and I think the south tour you want to see the Buddhist leftover structures from. You see
Yeah.
Taxila? You see Taxila?
I've never done by myself. I was never a tour guide in the south.
All right.
But it depends on the clients, yeah.
Right. What they want
Yeah,
to see.
what they want to see. The soft tours are less popular, so we are more
I can
like
imagine.
customized.
Very
this.
hot.
Yeah, but also,
There's not a lot to see.
yeah, that's why we use plane. From Multan to Karachi, we are using plane.
What
because-
about a village experience? Have you guys ever thought about that? Maybe like setting it up in Punjab with like a proper village, having a village experience where they live for a couple of days in a village. Because he's done a lot of those, and people love them, right? When they
Yeah,
watch
well, I've
those.
done a lot of villages like in Azad, Kashmir. And I like village life. I really like village life. I also like a little bit of chaos. I feel that you can get a better experience in the village life. People get more time to maybe sit and teach you stuff.
Chat
And,
and-
yeah, so it's
You get to see how the sausage is made, in the sense of you get to see how the paratha
yeah,
is
you
made.
can just open your mouth and the buffalo will just fire it straight into your mouth.
Yeah, by the way, you tried that, right?
I done that. Yeah,
Have you tried the direct, like,
No.
the cow milk directly?
in Poland,
In Poland, have you done that?
like raw milk,
Raw milk from the direct,
not from the cow.
no,
yeah,
here is
straight from the other.
straight
Ah,
from the
no.
udder, the aim here.
No, when I was a small child, my grandmother, she has this agriculture, everything. So there was a cow. So we have like not. I didn't drink like exactly from the cow, but it was fresh.
Right.
So almost like from the cow.
Raw milk in a village in Punjab is a different experience.
I
Yeah.
can imagine.
But I do like the village. The village life here is, and that's the thing. Even if you go as a solo traveller and you walk into the village, most of the time, people are like, "Oh, come for tea." There's no like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah.
I only had one. That happened to me one time. I went to a village in Azad, Kashmir, and a couple of the elders were chapping people's doors saying, "Don't trust this guy. He's a spy." Obviously, I'm a white guy. I'm walking about with a camera. They've never seen any foreign visitors, and the word got back to me that they were calling me a spy, and I'm like, right, here we go. So I stuck it out for 2 weeks, and at the end of that 2 weeks, I ended up at the village chief's wedding. They're throwing money over me and stuff, and I'm like this. So it was
So
good.
they ended up renting you for your services.
Pretty much, yeah.
The wedding services.
Yeah, so just hang in there.
In terms of food, it's funny that you mentioned that a lot of the Polish tourists like the food in the north. I'm guessing they like the more Pashtun style, Pathan style,
Yes,
like
yes.
the chapli kebabs.
Yeah, chapli kebab we also eat because we stop on the way
Right.
in Besham, for example. We have a stop for a food, so we have this not that much local experience, but we have also this local experience. So we are not only going to the hotel and we are staying in the hotel. We also have this local restaurant, so we are taking people on the
And
bazaar.
you've already predetermined the restaurants that you talk to the restaurants, or do you just go randomly?
Sometimes we have some restaurants we already have some deal, but with some restaurants we are just going randomly because
So what's the top 5 foods that Polish tourists like in Pakistan?
they like Afghani, Iranian, North like Hunza and Skardu. But about Pakistani, like they are trying, for example, they are trying biryani, yeah, they are trying, but karahi. But in the end, after like 10, 11 days, we are in the end end up with something less spicy. Like they like this karahi and everything, but always please ask for less spicy. So it's like they like the flavor, but just not that much spicy.
I guess that's inevitable. What about you, Callum? What's been what are the big 5 eats for Callum?
The big 5 eats. Well, everyone knows my breakfast ritual is mashed dal, paratha, desi ghee, and some chai. Sets your man up in the morning. Lunch, like a bano palau.
You like a bana pulao?
yeah.
Like a beef pulao. You guys
Oh,
like it?
pulao, yeah.
The beef pulao, yeah.
Yes, also.
I also like the Afghani. If you tried the Kabuli palau.
Yeah, the one in Pindi, Islamabad.
Well, I've tried them. I've tried quite a few rounds.
Around,
and
yeah.
in Peshawar and stuff. Dinner's. I chop and change, to be honest with you. I mean, I like the karahis and stuff, but I do chop and change. There's some nice steak restaurants in Pakistan as well, you know. After that stint in India,
Yeah, no, he went to a village in India where there was no meat.
amazing family. The family were
They
amazing,
were
but
great
it was
people, but it was fully
vegetarian.
vegetarian. And by the end of it, he was anemic.
And I crossed the border, went straight for a steak,
Ah.
and it was amazing. It was the best steak in the world, better than Texas. But I think you get a bit of everything in Pakistan when it comes to food. Maybe some people might think, oh, if I go there, I won't be able to eat. But there's normal, and if they want the Western food, they can get their McDonald's or Domino's and stuff like that. So you can get whatever you want.
And you guys have a list of, because we talked about this earlier as well. Do you guys have a list of European style restaurants where the tourists eventually on the 11th or 12th day
They go.
want to sneak in a little?
Yeah, last time when we stopped on the motorway, there was McDonald's. Like 90% of the group just went to McDonald's to be
Like,
after mountains. But that was only once. They just want to check how it tastes because also some people. This McDonald's here, it's different.
Yeah,
It's
I do that as well.
Yeah.
I've done it in India. I tried the McDonald's and although the McDonald's I went into was also fully vegetarian, so I got an aloo
The
burger.
McDonald's was vegetarian?
Yep, I got an aloo burger.
A potato burger. Aloo
Yeah.
burger is a potato burger.
So
aloo,
that was
yeah.
fully veg as well. But I like to try like McDonald's and stuff around the world just to see.
Speaking of burgers, how about that egg burger?
Mate, that was glorious. Now, after the last podcast, you're like, we'll go for an egg burger, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't sound too appetizing.
No
It
meat,
was-
just egg.
Just egg, but it was amazing.
Egg
A little bit of
lentil patty
Lentil.
and some French toast. Me and him, we went and
Pakistani French toast, and it's got sugar.
Yeah, it's
And,
sweet.
and it's, that was the first time I tried that, and it was glorious.
No, it's
Me and him were sitting late at night in the car, just sitting eating. That was nice. It was really nice. That egg burger was, in fact, I actually might get one of them on the way out.
I'm just saying, don't knock it until you try.
Simple food, but it was so tasty.
The thing with a lot of the city food that we were talking about when we had the egg burger, you can get the egg burger everywhere. It's called Shami Anda or Bun Plaster. There's 2 versions of it. The Shami Anda version has more like it has sauces in it, like mayonnaise and ketchup or whatever.
Okay.
But the Bun Plaster version will have a sauce, maybe, except this one doesn't have any sauces, the one we went to. It's a really mild sort of flavor, which is rare in Pakistan, right? A lot of the
Yeah.
food has to be
Yeah.
but a funny thing that you pointed out, and because I've been to India as well, I noticed that in India it's 10 times worse. There's like 50 ingredients. And I never realized that until I went to India. I thought the food was the same. I used to think, oh, just similar sort of.
It's just like, do you want any egg with your masala? That's like, but in Pakistan, you do it. No, I don't think everything's as spicy in Pakistan the way people would think.
No, it's not as no. But like
Definitely
some
not.
of the dishes though. What was a big for either of you or for the tourists? What was a big no when they ate it? They were like, no, this is a nightmare. The sweets, I think the sweets.
I'll flip that round slightly. I'll tell you something that I did eat that I was surprised tasted so good.
What was
It was that takatak.
Takatak's great. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
but obviously when you're watching it getting cooked up and you're like, this looks a little bit iffy, it was actually really nice.
Takatak is all the offal, so it's like some, intestines or kidneys or liver and that kind of stuff, and then it's mixed up with a little meat, and then they make it on a big grill
Yeah.
type. I would walk. I'd
Well,
call it a walk.
yeah. Well, that's where the noise comes from. Oh, the
Takatak,
name in it.
takatak,
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 takatak.
yeah. The food is called what it sounds like. It's the dish when they make it. Yeah, you should try it definitely.
Oh.
Yeah. We should make
I
a
will
vlog.
try
We'll
liver.
make a vlog.
from this.
Is there anything that turned you off? Like you ate it and you were like, not for me.
After urine.
After trying urine in India.
I like eating weird or what we would assume would be weird foods. So there's nothing off the top of my head where I can think, no, that's a big no-no.
Yeah, he's gone-
In fact, to be fair, I'll tell you one thing that I can't eat, and it's not Pakistani. It's ketchup.
You hate
Like
ketchup?
tomato sauce, ketchup. I cannot touch that. I would rather eat, I don't know, something on the bottom, the bottom of your shoe than eat ketchup.
Really?
Seriously.
Are
Cannot
we,
touch
are we
it.
as strong on the ketchup or no? Do Polish people like ketchup? Do you
Yeah,
like ketchup?
yeah, we like.
Major no-no for me.
But
How do you-
everybody
how-
has
And I've
like
had
this.
like camel,
How do you eat
shark,
cheeseburgers?
whale. No sauce.
You have to say no sauce because most
Yeah.
of the burger sauces have ketchup in them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So no
ketchup.
ketchup. Remind me.
Next time.
That's why the last time we were going for the egg burger, you're like, sometimes they put a little bit of ketchup and mayo, and I'm like, oh no.
You should have just said you don't like ketchup.
I was going, that's why I asked you when we got there. I was like, make sure there's no sauce on this. But it was really nice. But I don't think there's anything that I've had in Pakistan where I've thought, I can never eat that again.
Wow, that's very sweet. If you,
But I am open to,
you're open to trying new
I'm open
things.
to try and,
We'll make sure Callum's here for a while, and we'll make sure you eat the craziest stuff that we can find.
sounds good to me.
What about the tourists? Is there something, a particular kind of food that is just completely like wax them out, where they're like, we're not gonna eat this?
No,
is
they.
anyone-
I mean, of course, they always have a menu card, and they
Right.
are seeing, like, for example, I don't know, this masala, brain something, yeah, this thing. But nobody ordered it.
Nobody orders the brain?
So nobody ordered the brain. So far from my experience, there wasn't like situation like this. The people, if they are ordering, they just know what they want, and they are even asking like what is good. And we are taking like malai boti, we are taking this chapti kebab,
Yeah.
the karahi, and everybody are. The only problem is sometimes it's a bit too spicy. So that's the only
You know what
problem.
the funny thing is? She hasn't tried any fish yet. And
I
she,
tried once, but it was in Karachi. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't
there's
know
two-
what
there's
was.
two- the river fish.
Yeah,
we have
not the
carp
river.
and trout and
Yeah.
sole.
We had some nice fish
You had
at
carp?
that restaurant.
We did. That was sole. We
That was
had.
nice.
We have three kinds of river fish. In the north, you have trout, and we also
Yeah.
have some catfish, which we can try if you guys like.
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
catfish, we have sole, and we have carp. Carp is a bit muddy.
Yeah, we
Usually-
know carp. Yeah.
So we use turmeric, the spice to clean it out. But we'll try some carp soon. You've tried any fish in Pakistan yet?
I'm trying to think actually.
The one that we had was cleaned out with turmeric, by the way. That was why it was a bit yellow.
No, that was
but-
that was beautiful.
That was golden,
That was
right?
really
That
nice.
was sole. That was the one that doesn't have a lot of bones in it. The one that's really popular here in Punjab generally is carp. You call it rahu in Urdu, and it's a fairly muddy fish, so you have to really clean up the.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of bones in it,
Yeah.
like an insane amount of bones. I'm not kidding.
This carp is our Christmas fish that we are always eating for Christmas.
What about the bones? Isn't it
Like
annoying?
they are the bones, but of course we have to eat this very carefully. But this is like a traditional dish, and we always, when we have Christmas Eve, there is carp on our
we
table.
would fit right in. I mean,
The bones aren't too big. I eat the bones.
No, these ones are really sharp. You have to,
Yeah.
it's a real science to eat this. I'm not.
Right, okay, so you're dissecting it.
You have to dissect it with your fingers, and sometimes you get pieces in your mouth. You have to fish
Yeah,
them
it's
out.
very, very big. Yeah,
So the
bones, fish
the big
bones are
ones you
big.
can get.
Yeah.
The little ones, the
Yeah.
fork, they're like
Are
sort of
tricky.
fork bones.
Yeah.
They're genuinely tricky. They're genuinely tricky.
Okay, we'll need to try that.
What we're gonna.
Yeah,
Don't worry. What about the dessert?
More muddy for him.
The muddier the better.
More muddy.
Yeah.
I'll have someone pee on it. Don't worry. No, the weirdest thing that I've found whenever I've met foreigners who weren't vloggers, just regular, is that they find the dessert to be weird.
Dessert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
a bit.
Really?
The mithai specifically weirds them out. I don't know why, but
They are very sweet.
yeah, they're very,
Very sweet. Like everything in Pakistan, it's too much.
What-
Like
what
for
did you
example,
try?
the spicy, the food, the main food is too spicy. Yeah, the sweets are sometimes, not often, but sometimes they are too sweet.
what
Well,
did you try?
Pakistan's number one for diabetes.
Diabetes.
I'll just
Yeah.
throw that out there.
I just no.
There's small balls like this, like
The-
donuts, like small donuts.
Gulab jamun.
Yeah,
Gulab jamun and that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
They are delicious. Like I'm eating, but only one. I can eat one, and that's it.
That's the one and done is the policy
Yeah.
with Pakistani.
Well,
dessert.
there's one thing that I'll say is better in India. Or gulab jamun.
Really.
Yes. And I'm not,
No,
you
no,
know,
no.
I'm not going to sit here and advocate,
no.
but they're far superior.
They're a
in
superior
India.
beast. You think
Yes.
it's more fragrant?
Always warm, always nice and moist, like, you know.
Don't even get me started, man. Indian mithai is legit. Indian mithai. I went to India and the number one thing I found was Indian mithai is legit. A lot of this, the chaat. Have you ever tried the chaat food? Like little, it has like little. How the hell would you describe chaat? Little spicy lentil things with the
Lentil.
spoon. They're cold. They have yogurt in them.
Yeah, I guess I eat like this, like the dal or not.
No. Chaat's like a street food. Golgappe.
Yeah, golgappa. Yeah.
So it's similar to that. Chaat stuff
That's
is
the one
Also,
thing,
you eat like
one of the
this?
only things that made me sick
is Golgappe in
Yes.
India or Pakistan.
in Lahore,
Where'd you have
Oh,
just outside Badshahi Mosque.
them? Of course they were gonna make
And it was
it
just before I took my trip up north. So I was driving up north, 10 hours in the car,
every 30 minutes.
stomach's
Wow.
starting to churn on like there's something like right here. And then it just became horrendous
Right. Projectile vomiting.
at both ends.
Both hands, my man.
oh,
Take that as you will.
I didn't want to do you dirty, but I can understand.
Yes, so
It's
that,
the water. It's
yes,
the water.
definitely.
It's the water that you dip it in.
yeah,
That's
this
the-
deep.
yeah.
This
That's the
deep,
one and
yeah.
only time I can pinpoint where.
Apparently, from my experience as well, in India they do the chaat, all the chaats they do them much better, and the dessert, the mithai. What about the thing we tried at the restaurant the other day? The one that came in the
I liked
clay
it.
thing?
I liked it. That was nice.
It was a mild sort
It
of.
it wasn't too sweet. It was nice. It
It was
was
rice pudding. Have you tried the rice pudding?
Yeah.
It was
The
slightly
pudding
different, though.
are
It was
fine.
more-
I like this puddings.
it was
It's mild.
Yeah.
it was more thick.
It was a thick.
It was a thicker texture rather than your usual rice pudding in the West, but it's a little bit
What about ice cream? Where do we stand on ice cream?
kulfi.
Kulfi.
Kulfi, yeah. It's good.
Yeah, it's nice. I've had some nice
Have
with
we had-
with the nuts and stuff.
Have we had Faluda yet?
I have. I'm not a huge fan, if I'm honest.
Where'd you have it?
I've had a few, to be fair. Like, I've had some in India and I've had some in Pakistan. I had one in Mirpur as well.
Mirpur. They're not a big Faluda culture. What was it like? Did they put the syrup on it? Mm-hmm. The red syrup?
I think there's red and blue.
No, that's not Faluda. That's garbage. We'll have real kulfi Faluda. Don't worry.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
I will. Don't worry. We'll have real kulfi Faluda soon, inshallah. All in all, do you think that and we talked about this off camera as well. Infrastructurally, it's not a very tourist-friendly country. And it's not very easy to be a tourist in Pakistan. I'm not saying the people aren't nice, but it's hard to be a tourist in Pakistan. How do you deal with that in your tour group?
Well, that's depends on the people. Sometimes, of course, before coming to Pakistan, I'm telling them about about the roads, like what the situation, about the toilets. Yeah, the toilets.
I'm sorry, what about the toilets? I don't know.
Like there is a
Elaborate.
hole in the ground, like the hole in the ground.
I've never experienced this kind
Yeah,
of
they are in
toilet.
the north. They are in the north. Come on,
They're everywhere, man.
come on.
You
they
get
are-
used to it. I mean, obviously after a few days, the people get used
Yeah,
to it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the initial thought is like, don't know.
Don't know about that.
Yeah.
The motorway where you can pay for the toilets. Have you ever used
Yes,
those?
yes,
Those
yes.
are great.
Yeah, they are like our style. Yeah, But you know, everybody, like, I don't know how about other countries, but our people, my people, they need to know everything in advance. Yeah. So if they know everything in advance, they are prepared and they are not making any
Did
like
you explain
problems.
to them the
So I explained
situation
everything,
with
everything.
gravity and how the hole in the ground helps?
Yeah, as
Right.
well. Yeah. Everything that they are this kind of toilet, they can happen. Like, it's not like obligatory they happening, but we can't might somewhere on the roads. They have a situation like this, but it's not like something new for us. It was, I even remember when I was a child, it was like this, yeah, in the 90s in Poland. But you know, now it's different. So even the people.
Communism. Give them squatty potties.
So you used holes in the ground in the 90s in Poland?
I mean, yeah, I mean, there was still, like, for example, in my grandmother's, like, there was this old type of toilets in the countryside.
Yeah, well, maybe in the country.
Of course, there was everything in the house was new, clean, and everything, but on the countryside, somewhere, you know,
Yeah.
far.
Suspect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll tell my friends at immigration not to go to Poland. They don't have the right kind of toilets.
No, it's a very nice country.
No, I'm messing with you. I'm sure it's a wonderful.
So yeah, I'm just telling people in advance everything about the SIM cards, about the internet, that there can be a problem with internet, that there can be a problem with electricity, there can be a problem with the road, there can be blockage on the road, there can be roads, slides and everything.
By blockage, we mean stopping and Kustra's chapping the window.
Yeah, speaking of kusras and tourist traps, you know, in Cairo, in Egypt, the tourist traps are famous, right? Where they'll hustle you out of money or whatever.
Yeah,
What's the big ones? Not a lot, I'm guessing.
Not
I've
in
seen the ones in
Pakistan.
Karachi at the beach where they hustle you out
Yeah,
of money.
yeah.
I saw that one with the Australian guy.
I don't know so much about traps. I think the level of like the begging, and you as a Westerner, I think it pulls on our heartstrings a lot more than it does with local Pakistanis at times.
Because they know.
And there's big initiatives now happening in Pakistan where they're telling people, like, keep extra bottles of water or sweets or something in the car and give them that instead of money. And hopefully that stops the child trafficking that happens in Pakistan, because not everyone, but a lot of these people are trafficked into doing that, and it becomes a gang. Now, a lot of people see it as a business.
It is a very nefarious sort of. Do you tell them in advance that you can't pay the street beggars?
Yeah, I'm telling, but still there are some.
Yeah.
It's on them. Yeah, I'm telling all the information, and
I mean,
who
if
wants
they
to.
feel good about it. If they feel
I mean,
good about
I'm
to
starting to
pay,
sound
yeah.
heartless here, but
Yeah.
it's like there's only so much you can do.
You're
Yeah,
half Pakistani
But
now.
it depends, you know. If there are somebody who, even the children, yeah, they are doing some small work, and they want to sell something, so the people are, you know, just buying from them. But at least this children, they are doing some work, so
Yeah,
they
they're-
appreciate that
yeah.
they're getting money for some small work, even
Yeah,
washing
they're providing
something.
a service
Yeah.
or doing something.
Yeah,
I
but
handed a
if
young
they
girl
are like
100
typical
rupees.
beggars, like, this is completely different topic. Now in Europe, I think it's even more like on the back. Now we don't give this to that, like.
Yeah, it's the
beggars.
same here with.
Yeah.
It's like a. It's a tricky question. I
Yeah,
think
it
I don't
is.
think it's as cut as dry as Callum the Heartless did us dirty over there. I'm kidding. No, it is true what you're saying, but I think the overall position that Pakistanis have is that most wouldn't give them, but eventually sometimes you see a guy or a kid, they're working, and then you sort of, you forget about the fact that maybe this is all part of a gang, and
Yeah.
so I don't know. I don't have an
I
answer.
think
I
Well,
think
it's a fine line. It's hard to determine.
It's hard
Because
to
someone
determine.
could be genuine,
Some
some
could be
people might not.
genuinely-
Yeah.
I gave a young girl yesterday, in fact, 100 rupees, and my friend Dald was with me, and she said back, he translated for me, and she says, "What the hell am I going to do with 100 rupees?" And I'm like, "Okay, fair enough." I felt bad. I was like, "Right,
Fair
okay, there's
enough.
more," but you'll never. I don't think you're ever going to be able to tell who's genuine and who's not. But you need
You
to try
should
and
have
follow.
you should have showed her one of those logs, the ones white people made. Here's what you can buy with 100 rupees. One of those guys.
Aye. Well,
Guys who
I
don't
think
understand currency and how it works.
the only way it's going to stop these traffickers is if everyone gets on board with this sort of
I think
these
the government-
initiatives.
I think it's the government. I think it's not just a neglectful eye. I think that genuinely some of the people are involved with it. I think there's a big shady situation. I don't want to get into the weeds about it, but I don't think it's going to be resolved anytime soon.
I certainly don't think it's going to get resolved.
The
But
way
I
that
mean,
they're
if
dealing with it.
some of these initiatives can really take off, then it might just
Maybe.
help some people.
Maybe. Callum mentioned to me the other day, as well as we talked about this as well, that you guys would love to help out with some animal preservation stuff.
Yeah.
You guys, because I noticed you guys, neither of you have been to the zoo, and you've
No.
purposefully not gone to the zoo, right?
Have you seen an Arkley Bazaar? It's like feeding time at the zoo if you go down there on a Saturday afternoon. It's chaos.
No, but like an actual zoo.
Yeah,
zoo.
yeah.
So you guys haven't been to the zoo, and the reason why these guys haven't been to the zoo or the circus is because they think that, and I do agree with them, that maybe animals don't get a fair shake in zoos. It's not the right kind of treatment because their enclosures are small, and so we're going to go soon, inshallah, to a reserve where they breed. There's about 15, I think, kinds of antelopes and deers in Pakistan. They breed them and then they re-release them into the wild with the help of the government. This is a private initiative that some people have done. They've been doing it from the 50s. And so they have a nice big farm outside of Lahore. We'll go there soon as well. This is one aspect that I think is very poorly conducted in Pakistan when we talk about the infrastructure. There's not a lot of like animal-based tourism, even though we have a lot of really wacky animals in Pakistan.
Yeah.
How do you think the government could change that? Like, because you wouldn't want a zoo. Would you want like a big game preserve where you could drive through them? You know, like the big
Safari,
Is this
like
not one up
safari?
north?
yeah, something like safari. Would that work?
But I think safari, I'm in general not a fan of any kind of things related to animals. Like I was in Thailand and I've seen how there was everything about elephants,
The elephants, yeah.
monkeys, and this tigers even, yeah. These tigers when they just took a photo with a
Yeah.
big tiger. So this is for me. I didn't even enter this. I was like,
I think there's a
saying, like,
difference though, slightly with a reserve rather
Yeah.
than like these sort of tourist attractions. Because I know what you're saying. They take a photo and then everyone goes home at night. You don't know how the animals are getting treated. But if there was a reserve, but what's the national park? Is it Desai?
We have a lot of national parks, but I feel like the kind of infrastructure that needs to be, you have to set up cabins, you have to set up dirt roads, you have to have a certain amount of jeeps to take people in, you have to have those wrangling
Yeah, yeah.
cages. I think that because we have leopards, very very unique. These Asian leopards. We have the snow leopard. You guys might have seen this. Did you see the snow leopard, the one that they have in captivity in the north?
I haven't seen. We've seen the yaks, a lot of yaks in the north.
A lot of yaks in the
and
north.
this I don't remember ibis.
Ibex.
Ibex, yeah,
Ibex,
and
yeah.
ibex, yeah, like wild ibex. When we're in the Kundra Park.
The ibex is the ibex is endemic to Pakistan as well as the Udayal in Punjab. It's kind of deer. It's kind of sheep
Yeah,
actually. We have a lot of weird animals, and I think that if we could create some sort of animal tourism as well. Is that a big thing in Europe? Because I suspect people go to Africa because we have a big game hunting thing. In Pakistan, a lot of Europeans come
It's a
for
touchy subject in Europe. A lot of
Yeah,
people are
yeah.
starting to like say stay back from that is wrong and stuff. So it's a touchy subject in Europe whether people would
I
actually
mean,
go.
we need the game hunting because, so for example, one of our national animal, the markhor, is a particular kind of mountain goat. You've seen them probably, the one with the curled horns go all the way back. They do game hunting with them. The way it works is that you pay a lot of money and you get to hunt an older male which is not reproductive anymore, and that money goes into helping preserve the species. Because and I understand that because that's how it works.
I still think people in Europe would be like,
No,
I don't want to pay to just kill that animal just because he's old.
This is very, very, as he
There's a
said, a
fine
very
line.
touchy subject. Everything related to animals, related to any testing on animals, even that the companies are not testing cosmetics in Europe, but they are testing for China market, for example.
Yeah.
So they are also like not banned, but they also have like this bad
Yeah.
press. So nowadays, also all the shelters for animals, everything they are more for animals, and even there are some safaris or zoo. But for example, like I was in the zoo when I was a small child, yeah, and that was like kind of me. But now when I'm more aware, I don't want to see this. You know, they are on these grounds, not in the natural environments, and I don't want to see it. I know sometimes they need this for just to keep species, yeah, because
The hunting
problem.
thing helps
But,
raise finances for the preservation of those animals.
I mean, so there's always going to be two ways to look at it, and it depends on the situation. Like recently, when I was in Texas, they obviously have a major problem with hogs. They
Right.
decimate the crops. So they're seen more like vermin, and a lot of people go and hunt them. But that's for real reasons because they are breeding, and it's getting out of control. So I can see the need
There is-
to maybe go and get involved with that. But is there? I mean, they're not decimating crops or.
Licensed game hunting. There's no other way to raise the funds for those animals, because it's not so easy to go and have tourists come in and pay to see the any particular
It's just
species.
the game hunting. That's a major red
Is
flag.
it a
in
big
Europe,
red flag?
Yeah,
for
it's a red
Europeans?
flag. Yeah. There are some people, of course, there are the people I even know personally, like my father's friend, like he's doing this hunting, but this is not something that you go and show off. Like you,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Like if you were going hunting, a lot of people hunt in Texas. They hunt deer. My friend does it. I went with him.
yeah.
Brings the deer back, hangs it up in the cooler. It does them for months and months, and he actually eats it. And he's not just going there for fun to kill an animal.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a big difference.
I think Pakistan has already a lot of things to solve, a lot of like issues to solve, and going into animal hunting.
we already have a big game hunting. No, but it helps us preserve the animals also. That's the only way we can raise finances for this thing.
Surely there's got to be an alternative.
There would be budget allocations, but budget allocations, again, we have a lot of other problems to solve, so it's an easy
yeah.
fix. It's an easy money. It's a question as old as time, I guess. Nobody will be able to answer it ever, I guess. I mean, some people think you shouldn't hunt them at all unless you want to eat them.
Yeah.
Other people will say don't even hunt them, even to eat them. It's a big
Yeah.
debate. But here, a lot of the hunting allows us to help preserve the species. So I'm still gonna stand on that side of the aisle on this.
I don't understand people who say if you're going hunting to eat an animal, providing they're not going extinct or whatever.
Right,
then
obviously.
It's because a lot of people in the West don't actually see the killing of the animal. They just get it on their plate and they eat it. But yet they'll say, "Oh, don't go and kill animals."
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense to
Where
me.
do you think your steak came from?
Exactly. Like I would have no issue going and hunting a deer and eating it. I
Which
wouldn't
is
have a
why
problem
I
with
think
that.
you're getting a lot of the weird, the fake meat stuff now. Like the
Kind of artificial meat.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the bugs, the bug meat.
That's some Bill Gates stuff right there. He's into all that stuff.
That's an
Have you is either one of you tried a fake meat?
Fake meat.
no.
I don't
No,
think I
not
have.
yet.
No,
Not yet,
I don't
but
think so.
I was
Not
just
yet.
reading about the concept, and it's going to be more popular. We just ate now. It's better even if you want to be trending, and if you want to be in the social media. There was a trend even 2 years back, like even not to show meat, that you are eating meat in the restaurant on our social media.
In Poland?
Yeah,
Okay, this
I think it is still a bit like this.
are
Like
Polish
it's better
aren't they
to.
big meat eaters though?
No, we eat meat, but it's like not to promote.
That's demonic.
I think so because we're like,
Humans eat meat.
of course, look at our
Yeah.
canine teeth and stuff. Like we're chewing at a steak. I think
have
it's
to.
like it's became this hip thing where it's like, oh, I don't eat meat, and it's like it's a trend rather than the fact that people I don't think a lot of people genuinely have that passion in them. It's just became this thing.
I mean, I don't want to get too political. Last time we did, and people got mad. Crazy adventures. What's the craziest thing? We know a lot of crazy things happen to you in India. What's the craziest thing that you've dealt with in Pakistan, like authorities, locals, food, whatever?
I'm trying to say ones that
That can be on camera.
yeah, that I'm not going to get me into trouble because there's many. Let me think. Crazy situations. I mean, dangerous. What like
Anything.
Let me think.
Story worth telling.
Story worth telling. Let me think. I'm trying to think of ones that won't get me into.
I was really disappointed that when I saw the one that you did at the Badshahi Masjid, I was disappointed you didn't try the sound things.
I did do that though. I had done that. I told you.
But it wasn't on
Not
camera.
yeah, but I'd done that when you go to the corner and then you can hear it, and I've done that before.
Have you tried that? In the Badshahi Masjid in Lahore, did you try the sound reverberation?
Like we are talking in the wall.
Yeah, and then you can hear the whispers. You
Yeah,
try
we
that?
did it. Yeah.
What about the one in the masjid where you can say certain alphabets and they'll come back to you?
Yeah, because we always have tour guide, Pakistani tour guide. So
Right.
he's showing us this spot. Yeah. So there are these two spots in the Badshahi Mosque for the
For
sounds.
communicating. Yeah.
The one is like
Did you
more
try
like
the
this.
one?
Yeah. It was like even something I understand, but not perfectly. But this when we are on the opposite side of the wall, that's perfect. That is so sound.
It's spooky.
It's really working. Like
When
I
you
was
whisper
shocked.
on, no, I think you guys, because you guys can't pronounce those letters. I think the masjid one, the letters are, I think they're a bit difficult. The ha and the ha,
Maybe we are just
sound.
speaking in Polish to each other.
Yeah. I think the letters, the alphabet is a bit, those sounds. But did you have any particular experiences here with the tourists? Did they have any trouble with the locals or anything in particular that was funny?
Well, we had one story, but I don't know how much I can tell about this.
Sure, go ahead. If
We just once on the tour, I will not tell the place, but we just stopped in one place. It was not on, it was not in our itinerary. We just stopped because our one tourist asked us there just to stop there, yeah, because he wanted to see this place. So it was on our way, so we stopped, and we went out, we took photos, and we went back to the bus. But later we had to remove all the photos.
I know what you mean. Okay.
That's the all I can say.
Okay,
But that was a bit.
I think
Nothing
that
happened.
I think
Everything
that
was
particular
good.
tourist was a spy. What's the future looking like for Callum? What do you plan on doing with Pakistan?
Well, I'll probably be here long term. That's my goal, to be here long term. I seem to every few months I'll come here. I'll spend a long time here, and then I'll go somewhere, be it Afghanistan or wherever it may be. And then I always come back. But I think this time I'm going to stay long term and see how things pan out, because it seems to be more and more opportunities coming now, and people are getting more interested and want to, like, oh, what about this idea, or would you ever fancy doing this for TV? And so there's a few opportunities in Pakistan that I'm going to look into. And
I would love to see a Callum show, a man on the street Callum style show where he goes to every single Pakistani wedding.
yeah, this is the magic
Yeah.
stuff.
It's the full season, like every single different culture, Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan,
Yeah,
Khyber,
Yeah.
and he goes to all different types of. That would be.
I've been
I
at
will
some,
watch this.
some crazy weddings, and there's fireworks going off. Right, the guy just decides to light a firework off right next to you, and you're just like, bro. And then the
No
next minute,
problem.
there's some villages you hear a little bit. There's gunfire, and you're just like, this place is.
No, that would be. But say, just seriously though, consider it like a Netflix show where you go to Pakistani weddings. It, like my big fat gypsy wedding type thing. Remember that?
Yeah,
Something like that.
that is honest. But anytime I arrive in Pakistan, people message me, "Oh, can you please come to my
I'm
wedding?
getting married. My wife's always wanted Callum at her wedding.
Please come and vlog our wedding." So it's became a bit of a thing. But I wouldn't be opposed to that. I love Pakistani weddings.
That would be, I think, a well-produced, like high definition, sort of a lot of angles, maybe a nice drone. You do like, I don't know.
People always, all the elders will be whispering, "Who's that Gora up on the stage throwing the money?"
And you could have subtitles for what people are saying about you in the background. You can mic them up.
That would be interesting, because
That
I
would
was
be
at a
fun.
wedding not too long ago, and one of the old aunties come up to me and got someone to translate, and they were asking if I was single and
Right.
would I like to get married in the village, and I was just like, time to go.
Auntie, it's time to go.
Time to
What do you do for a living, beta? you know? What, Gosia has never been to a Pakistani wedding yet.
No, not. I got invitation, but it turned out that it was in Islamabad in some military area, and in
Oh,
the end they didn't let me go because
You can't
yeah.
enter.
I even
foreigners.
sent passport, and my friend was trying to get me, get this permission, but
No,
Yeah, it
in
was
all the
no.
military areas, foreigners cannot
Yeah.
enter in Pakistan.
so I was almost ready for the wedding, and then now I have to wait for another invitation. But I hope it will
I
happen.
shall get you an invitation. You shall
Callum,
come.
Callum will get to Callum. Will
Yeah,
get
he
to-
can now issue me some invitation.
Yeah, I'll sort that out. We'll get a big wedding.
Dude, you should become a wedding planner in Pakistan.
It's a huge business here.
Oh,
I was,
it's
you know,
huge.
looking for these all beautiful dresses, and I was checking prices of these dresses. Like, in general, I was looking for a party dress. It was crazy. The
No,
prices are even more higher than in Poland.
No, the wedding culture is nuts.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, they take it
subcontinent.
very serious
Very
in
seriously.
Pakistan.
Very.
Yeah,
You
some of the venues and the marquees are beautiful.
No, yeah.
The ones in Town and Rawalpindi and stuff.
Some of the marquees,
Unreal.
yeah, really like the architecture is very gaudy, sort of, like it's loud and
Yeah.
almost garish.
Yeah.
Everything's plated in like gold.
But the big difference between Pakistan and Europe is a lot of these weddings in Pakistan do not end in divorce. So it is technically once in a lifetime
It
thing.
is the once in a
Whereas in
lifetime.
Europe, people are like, there's a 50-50 here, we'll just spend a couple of grand.
What about you? Do you like the little, a little chapel on the hill kind of very quiet sort of wedding? 50 people, very intimate.
Hey, I'll be going to Vegas getting married by an Elvis impersonator. No, I'm a simple guy. I like the simple stuff, quiet.
Yeah,
But
I can imagine.
I wouldn't be opposed to getting married in one of these big marquees in Pakistan because they are nice. But I've always said,
What you can do is you can get married in Scotland, the regular way, and then you can have an event in in Pakistan in a big marquee,
yeah,
and then you can rent a Gora to come to your wedding.
yep.
She can be the token white person.
I think we should do that. We'll just set a TV program up in Pakistan, just
About
us,
the weddings.
us going around all the weddings in Pakistan.
Yeah, Callum and Gosia go to the weddings. That's the show. Gosia, is there something in particular where you feel like the tourists really want to experience this in Pakistan? Is there a particular activity, a sport? Have they seen polo?
No, we haven't seen polo, but
That should be on the
sometimes
itinerary.
we are doing this for smaller tour, cricket, for example.
Or they go play
Like
it?
playing, yeah, because the cricket is completely like in my country.
Alien.
Like
Same as
nobody
Scotland,
knows.
just
Like there is
nobody-
cricket, but nobody knows what's going on. I still like.
Scots don't know cricket.
They do, but I mean, it's almost. I don't know anybody that plays cricket. It's just like England have a big
They have a
team,
big
but
cricket.
we don't bother with
What about?
cricket.
I'm surprised you don't take them to go see polo and tent and pegging. You have seen those sports, the horse sports.
Yeah, I've seen they even play on the yaks. This polo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
But
seen.
this you don't take them to go see this tourists.
No, not yet. But maybe we will add this to the plan. Like
They'd
we
love
are, yeah.
I mean, I was down at the Lahore Polo Club.
You saw a match.
So I was down there a few days ago.
It's very bougie, no?
I was very bougie. You can tell the prawn sandwich brigade when they're sitting there all nice.
They're like, who is this white boy? Whip him.
Pretty much, aye.
No.
Aye, but it's a nice place. The horses. I actually went around the stables and seen how the horses were kept and
They're kept
very well groomed.
There's a split in the horse sports community. There's the bougie sort of British culture horse sports that he visited, and then there's the ones in the villages. It's more raw. They also love the
It's
horses.
more rough and ready.
It's more rough and ready. The polo is different, and I honestly thought that would be on the itinerary. I think some sort of. Have they seen the mud wrestling? The mud wrestling where you've seen the mud wrestling, the Pehlwani, right?
Yes.
You've seen them. The boys, they wear their
This resting. No.
they're the big, very big lads. They do mud wrestling. It's a Greco-Roman wrestling. The European Mediterranean style of wrestling. That a kind of version of that through Persia comes here, and then there's a big tradition of mud wrestling.
Sometimes we are adding things like this. We add this henna, Mandy, yeah, for the local experience. Once with this our YouTuber, there was some training, like they have some training, MMA training with some Pakistani
Right.
trainer, so it depends on the tour. Sometimes we are adding something. But I was thinking because in the north there is the highest, I think the cricket or the
'Cause they have the highest
cricket
cricket stadium.
the stadium, yeah. So I want to add this on our itinerary, yeah, to put it somewhere.
What would be fun is if you go take them see the big
Yeah.
wrestling matches.
Yeah.
They have them all the time, and if you go take them see polo and then tent pegging. Have you seen tent pegging, where they take a spear, they go in full gallop, and then they have to pick out a small wooden stake? You've never seen that sport?
No.
That would be fun for them,
Yeah.
I think, because it's a big.
So
play
I
that.
think I have to extend my tour for the 12 or 13 days because in 11 days we're very jam packed with the
I can imagine.
all the things. We have this small local. We are sometimes even going to to the families in the Hunza or Skardu to experience. They
Live in
have
the
this
hou-
local.
yeah.
In the evening, yeah, they have this local small houses when you have to take off your shoes, enter, sitting with all the great.
They all wear the
yeah, everything. But I think for more things, I have to make 12 days tour because there is no time.
What about you? Have you seen the tent pegging?
I have. That's also pretty big in Mirpur and Azad Kashmir. A lot of people play it there.
I love it. Yeah.
So they do. The only big difference between them and the prawn sandwich brigade in Lahore is they actually just create the pitch themselves by gathering rounds.
Yeah, they do.
So it's a little bit, like you said, it's a little bit more rough and you're intimate and everybody's sort of right
It's
into
raw,
it.
Yeah. The announcements are insane.
Aye.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it would be something worthwhile for.
Honestly, I'm
to see it.
surprised. It would be worthwhile for the tourists. I'll show you
Yeah.
something after the podcast. Maybe if you think that it's worth their time. Do you Do you think that long term this will be sustainable? Like, do you think that there is a big market and then that Polish tourists would like coming back to Pakistan? Have you had repeat customers yet? That's my question.
Yeah, they are talking, some of them talking about South Pakistan, that they were in the
Oh,
north
wow.
and they want to see south. They will also have some tourists that were in the south and they want to see north. So, of course, it's not like 90%, but they are the tourists that they want to fly back again. And also, they want to see with us other countries like this. We are talking about Afghanistan. Because if somebody comes to Pakistan, it's not like average tourist, yeah?
Yeah.
They want to see something different. I mean, something more experience, more
Yeah.
and more experience.
Well, wait till they get to the border.
Yeah,
and
so
people are getting
if they went to
whipped.
Pakistan, if they went to Pakistan, so what left? Like Afghanistan left, right?
Right.
Or Iraq, or so.
And the border is very.
The border is nightmarish.
You need to be. It's a bit tense on both sides. A lot of people getting whipped. Children getting whipped.
I think soon it'll ease out. If the Americans like
Yeah.
release some of the pressure.
Is that you blaming America again?
It is. It is. I mean, a lot of the stuff that they do is trickles down to us.
Even the things that happen in Palestine, Israel, Iran, the people are even these things that are happening between Iran and Israel lately. The people are calling me, "What will happen to our tour?" And I was like, nothing, nothing will happen. But the people are very scared. Anything that's happening in the Middle East, they
because
feel
it's
that
all one
yeah,
big region
yeah,
to
yeah.
them. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So it depends on the situation.
It's like if I say I can't come to Poland because of the war in Ukraine.
Yeah.
It would be the same.
Yeah, and some
Any plans for the future, Gosha?
now dinner.
Dinner?
Attack.
Dinner, something light, something mild, something not too spicy.
Yeah, something in the middle.
I'm thinking egg burger.
You eat egg burger, something dirty, and something a bit rough and ready.
I'm thinking egg burger and French toast.
So am I. To be fair, that's exactly what I'm
The
thinking.
funniest thing that he said was that I've been making French toast all these years and never figured out that you could put sugar on it.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. Never.
We don't eat that kind of.
Is there French?
toast.
You
We eat more. We don't eat. I mean, sometimes we eat, but it's not like in our culture to eat sweet breakfast. We have not sweet breakfast.
We don't have sweet breakfast.
But it
either.
is sweet. It's like
But French toast is more. I guess it is a breakfast dish. It's more of a Sunday sort of Sunday breakfast.
But for
kind of
example,
thing.
when we have our tourists and we are going north, I mean, we are going just to the hotels, so they always serve this French toast,
halwa,
yeah,
do you have halwa puri?
halva puri, yeah. Generally, it's more sweet. The sour part is the egg only, yeah.
And what about achar? Achar, the pickles.
Not a fan
Not
of
not
them.
for the bread.
You don't like? They serve them with the breakfast sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I'm not a fan of them.
Not a fan of the pickles.
No.
Same. Me neither. But people like them. Tourists tend to like them. All right, guys. Dinner then. Dinner is the plan.
No, let's do it.
Let's do a dirty.
Let's do it.
Let's do a dirty egg burger. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
mate.
much.
Thank you.